Perfect, perfect, perfect. And let me clear this camera real quick, y'all. This is gonna be Virgo's mid-May check-in. Sorry, y'all. Y'all supposed to have y'all message last week, but um, life be life and things are moving. So I be trying to get these out as much as possible for y'all. I made y'all a promise. I was gonna be hella, hella, hella consistent this month. So let's go. Affirmation. All right. Virgos. Intellect is the first thing that I'm hearing. Intellect, intellect. So that's making me feel like higher education might be on the table for you guys. If you guys haven't done that this month, consider doing it next month. But these are going to be messages for the rest of May, going into June, and then starting next week, I'll do June collective messages, okay? So let's see what Spirit has to say for you. Wait a minute. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I heard intellect gone wrong. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna say before I pull the cards, Virgo, because they already told me what they mean by that, is you guys are really smart people. Very, 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 very smart people. Very intuitive people. And a lot of people don't know that Virgos are actually very creative too. However, I feel like Virgos constantly run into this issue of how and when to share the information that you know, right? So you may know something, right? For example, you may know something. Somebody might bring up a topic and they're very passionate about it. Like, Virgo, let me tell you what I learned. Da, 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 da. And instead of sitting there and being like, oh, yeah, I already know that. I been knew that. Girl, I already know. Let me tell you. Da, 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 da. Just let that person have their moment, right? Especially if you could see they're passionate. They're like, oh my God, I learned something new. Did you know? Da, 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 da. Like, they're just happy to share. Sometimes it's okay to just kind of let that person have their moment and afterwards maybe be like, yeah, like I actually was interested in that subject too, so I do know a little bit myself, right? It's making me feel like I don't need to offend Virgos. I'm just saying what spirits wanted me to say. So this is for who it's for, right? Almost like interrupting people's happiness to kind of like inject what you know. It could cause a lot of rifts in your relationships, right? So allow people to have their moment too, and then like you should have people around you that really embrace all the knowledge that you have and really want to learn from you and things like that. So hopefully these are people that do want to learn from you, but let other people have their moment too before you interrupt with your say. You know what I'm saying? They keep showing me somebody that just like jumps in. It's almost like what they're showing me is that you all need to get better at listening to listen versus listening to say what you want to say or to put your two piece in, right? Like, so instead of hearing the person's words and how excited they are and reading the room, you're just sitting there like, oh my God, I gotta tell them, I gotta tell them, I gotta tell them, let me interrupt. Right? So like just be careful with that, right? That's the first message. I don't know who that was for, but that was very specific. Um, but intellect gone wrong. That's what it's making me feel like. Like you have intellect, but it's being taken the wrong way because of how it's being presented to other people, right? Doesn't mean stop sharing. Just means maybe read the room before you share, or just read the energy before you share. Things like that, right? Dang, all these cards came flying out. Okay, hold on, Virgos. You know me. Every reading I do, you're gonna see the bottom of my head because I gotta pick up cards all the time. Yeah. Okay. Intellect gone wrong. Okay, so sorry, allergies. You have Luna reversed, which is the moon. You have confidence reversed, and then you have knowledge upright. This is about your intellect. What happened, Virgos? Yeah, so okay, because I was just about to say before I pull these cards, I was like, don't take it as don't share, right? Don't take it as something bad, but it feels like there was a situation this month where you guys did share something that you know. Maybe it was something that you discovered, right? This is reminding me of a situation, for example, like if you are on a dating app and then you see your best friend's man on the dating app, and then you come to her and you're like, oh my God, girl, guess what? Girl, I saw your man on the dating app, da 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 da, right? And like, she would be appreciative of that. Like, thank you for telling me. Now I know to leave this man, but it's the way you presented it. Like, you didn't read the room, right? So you come in like, oh my God, I figured something out. I got some knowledge. Let me share it. But it should be, this is a sensitive moment. Let me maybe not share it when she's about to go on vacation with him. Let me, wait for the right moment. Let me, you know what I'm saying? It's about reading the room before you share the knowledge that you have. Don't let whatever happened discourage you from sharing what you're learning, right? Don't let it discourage you. However, just your approach needs to be changed a little bit, right? This is a very specific message because it feels like it knocked your confidence. For some of you guys, it might have just been You know, some people might label you as a know-it-all, or it's just something with with what you know. It's weird. This could even be in the workplace. You know what I'm saying? Like, not feeling like you know a lot and you want to share a lot, but how it's received knocked your confidence down. So now you're like, I'm not gonna share what I know for real, right? That's why I said, don't let what I said in the beginning be, oh, let me just not say nothing. No, it's just about changing the approach to how you share your knowledge, right? Okay, let's pull some tarot cards and see what's going on here. Very specific message. And I'm sorry, yeah, for some of you guys, this has to do with like work, right? You might even be thinking about changing jobs or changing careers because now it's just like you're not comfortable sharing what you know, or you don't want to be seen as a know-it-all, or yeah. Virgos, y'all took a hit. Hold on, y'all took some type of hit. Okay, what's the solution here, Spirit? Where do you want them to move? How do you want them to move? Okay. What happened was, you guys, like, this is not the first time this happened. This is ooh. Okay. Very, very, very specific message. This is about your communications, Virgo. So this is what it feels like. It feels like, Virgos, just like I said, you tried to share some knowledge that you knew, right? You're excited about something that you learned. You know, just like you guys are ruled by Mercury, you know a lot. And the way that you present it is not received well, right? So now what's happening is it feels like you all are spiraling because a childhood wound was triggered. So as a kid, you might have been told, like, shut up, you talk too much, you know too much, don't tell this person this, don't tell this person that. So now this devil, this energy that was never healed from your past is causing you to, oh, never mind, I'm just not going to share anything at all. I'll just move, I'll just leave. You know what I'm saying? You don't appreciate me, I'll just leave. Versus, this is not about changing yourself, Virgos. It's just really just about assessing. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like Spirit wants you to know people's energy too. Like, some people might be okay with you interrupting them, other people don't like it. It makes them feel like you're talking over them, that you are silencing their inner child when you constantly interrupt them over and over and over and over and over again. Some people, oh, that's just Virgo, you know, just let them, you know what I'm saying? But you're not picking up the different social cues between people. So now it's like you're starting to irritate some people. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like, should I just change? Should I just leave? Should I just not talk to this person anymore? You got the moon coming out twice. You got the moon coming out twice. This makes me feel like, two, Virgos, like, two things. You can either be understimulated with the throat chakra, like people told you talk too much, da da da, and you started to shut down, or you could be overstimulated. I didn't speak enough in my childhood because my mama always told me to shut up. So now I just be talking, and I can't even wait for somebody to finish their sentence before I say what I gotta say. Right? You got to figure out which one it is for you, but there's some shadow work that needs to be done here regardless when it comes to communication and how you communicate with other people. Even how you communicate with yourself, but more so I'm feeling like this is like people around you kind of like not reacting in the best ways of how you've been like presenting some information, right? Especially the workplace is coming up specifically too. So yeah, and I feel, yeah, this is all communication, y'all. I'm trying to change the message, but they just keep saying y'all need to work on y'all's approach. It's not the communication, it's the approach of how you communicate what you're trying to communicate. There's a balance needed. Virgos, I'm not gonna lie, Spirit is telling y'all to listen more than y'all speak too. I need to listen more than y'all speak. Not more, but the reason why they're saying listen more than you speak is because right now your speech is like way over here, right? So in order to balance it out, it's literally like you need to listen more than you speak, right? And then once you get balanced, then it's like, okay, equally listen, equally speak. You know what I'm saying? But right now it's not balanced, I'm not gonna lie to you. I keep trying to change the message. They're like, no, Virgos needs to hear it from somebody. You know, I need to, like just, and they're telling you, they're specifically like, they keep saying, don't make yourself minuscule. It's just allow people to have the same room as you're taking up, right? I don't know why that's coming up now. I feel like there might have been something specific that happened in the month of May for you guys. I don't think that this is going to be the energy for the rest of the month. I feel like Spirit is like, hey, Heads up, something happened. This is what you're supposed to do. Okay, now let's move into the message of mid-May, right? So let me reshuffle and see what else comes up. But that needs to be said. Um, they're knocking on my head about it too. Like, you guys, yeah. This is about your thought process too. It's a lot of Virgos. You guys are going to be, for the rest of May, a theme for you guys is going to be mastering that Mercury placement. Because right now it doesn't seem like it's healthily balanced. It feels like it's out of whack a little bit, right? Mercury is the planet of communication, yes, but also how do you learn? How do you learn? It's also knowledge. I always think about Mercury as knowledge as well, right? Learning. How do you learn? You listen, you read, you stay silent for a second, and you take in information. There needs to be more of the taking in of information versus let me show, let me show, let me show, let me show, let me share, right? Let me take in. Let me stay in solitude for a second, right? Balance continues to come out. Balance, like there's a need, and they're making me stare specifically at the sword that she has, which is communication, intellect, right? All right, what is the energy for the rest of May? Ooh, you have the Magician coming out. Ooh, and the Star, the Magician and the Star. Instead of overstimulating other people with communication and one-on-one conversations, consider speaking to a wider audience, Virgo, right? You have a lot of knowledge, so Spirit is saying it doesn't mean stop sharing your knowledge. Maybe you share your knowledge in a different way. Maybe you start a YouTube channel. Maybe you start doing video diaries. Maybe you start to do speeches, right? Maybe you go to schools and you share your knowledge versus one-on-one. One-on-one to be a little too much for people sometimes, right? So if you have a vast amount of knowledge you want to share, okay, let me go to an audience that appreciates my knowledge versus get offended or think that I know too much or da 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 da. Let me go to an audience that will appreciate it and speak to the masses. It feels like you guys have, when they're saying it's too much for one-on-one, they mean the energy. Like what you know is so vast that it needs to be spread amongst multiple people, not in a one-on-one conversation. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense because it's not a negative thing. So if you're listening with your human and your ego, you're going to get offended by what I'm saying. But if you listen with your spiritual ears, you'll understand what I'm saying, right? Because you have the Magician and the Star, which is like, okay, like you need to manifest that energy in a different way. Right now it's working against you versus it could definitely work for you, but you gotta share your knowledge in a different way, right? Your knowledge is definitely your power. However, right now it's working against you. It's your kryptonite, okay? What else, Spirit? Dang, these goddamn cards is flying out, honey. Flying out like a bug. Defense reversed. You have internal charisma, and then you have finding love. I'm specifically hearing like when I said finding love, I immediately heard deep within. And I'm immediately like they're showing me like this submarine that's like sinking deep into itself, right? I feel like Virgos, this is gonna sound kind of weird, right? But as much knowledge as you know about the outside world, it feels like you need to learn more knowledge about yourself, right? So digging deep within yourself and learning more about yourself for real. That's why this devil card is coming up and this Six of Cups reverse. You gotta go backwards. You gotta go within. Go back to your childhood. How was I when I was a kid? Why was I that way? How was I when I was a teen? Why was I that way? What was my communication like when I was 20? Why was it this way, right? Deep, 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 deep soul searching, like sinking into yourself, right? That way it's almost like, how do I say this? Because now, girl, when I get like this, when they start to give me visuals, I gotta get quiet for a second. So, because what they're showing me almost is like you getting to know yourself more naturally will cause you to be more quiet because it's almost like you'll understand your power in a whole different way to where you don't gotta say much with your tongue. You could just be. Or you could just say one sentence instead of 20, and that's powerful enough to get your point across, right? This is about shifting the way that you communicate into a more powerful way, right? It's almost like when how do I say this? Because I don't want to say it in a way that's gonna offend, right? But you know those people that don't say much? They don't say much at all. But it's almost like you want to learn more from them because they don't say much for real. But you know, because every time they speak, they say the most profound things. So you're just like, this person's not saying much, but I just want to be around them until they say that one thing because I know it's gonna hit me, right? This is about appreciating your voice more and appreciating your words more. If you're vomiting a lot, it's almost like there's too many filler words. If you're vomiting, that means there's probably a lot of filler words in there, useless words that you don't even need to say. Versus if you take your time and really understand what you're trying to say for real because you know yourself, it's gonna be God is within. Boom, that's it. Versus God is within because, when you do this and da 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 da, woo 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 woo, it's just God is within. Whoa, that's all that person needed to hear. Fuck, Virgo, damn, you hit me. Right? Like, that's what Spirit wants you to go towards. Less words, more power. Less words, more power. But you have to understand your power in order to do that. Right? It's making your words, your speech, your energy more profound than it already is. This is a very Listen, I keep telling y'all, if y'all want to learn, if y'all want a reading that says Robbie is sleeping with two women right now behind your back, I ain't the channel for that, baby. My channel is how can you help yourself grow? What do you need to know so that you can elevate, right? This is some homework that y'all gotta do. For sure, this is homework. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. What is the energy for the rest of May? What is the energy for the rest of May? Yeah, you have the Queen of Cups reversed. And you have the Five of Wands. What am I saying? Like, they just keep repeating the same message. This is your energy, your emotions, your intellect. It's working against you right now, Virgos. It's working against me right now. Because they're even showing me an example of an interview, right? Like, the interview where it might ask you one question and then it's like you go into a 20-minute conversation and all of a sudden they're just like, girl, I still got 15 more questions and only 2 minutes to ask them. Like, well, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the details, but just let me know, cut and concise, right? So, yeah, this energy is kind of working against you. But on the other side, you have the Queen of Wands, which is she's sitting tall. She knows herself. She knows herself. She's confident. And because she's confident, she don't got to say much for real. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And this is also, who the hell is even worthy of knowing my knowledge for real? Because half y'all don't appreciate what I got to say. So who is worthy of hearing me talk for 10 minutes? Maybe for most people, you just say that God is within. And then when you are in front of that person that you know is worthy of your time and your energy, God is within because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Right? That way you can save your energy for yourself because you guys are like, this is beautiful, but you're giving away too much of your energy at the same time. You're giving away too much of your energy when you give away so much knowledge. Right? So this is making me even feel like some of y'all Virgos need to get paid for your knowledge. I'm not gonna lie to you. Right? Like we work it and make it more powerful. It's almost like you guys don't understand how profound that Mercury energy really is. Like how worthy your knowledge is, how worthy your voice is, how worthy your time is. Once you go within and you start to realize who you are for real and how powerful all those three things are for real, you're not gonna just give it to anybody. You're not gonna just talk anybody's ears off because they don't deserve it. You feel me? Ten of Swords, let me clarify. Spirit definitely wants you guys to find another outlet for your voice, though, because that keeps coming up. Find a different outlet for your voice. Is it poetry? Is it singing? Is it speech? Going on speech tours or whatever? Is it YouTube? Is it a podcast? What is it? You got to find a different way to utilize your voice, right? But you have the Ten of Swords here, and you have the Six of Pentacles. You guys, I feel like you guys are going to start losing or getting into like petty arguments, and it has to deal with communication. But this is Spirit showing you who appreciates your communication and who doesn't, right? Because going back to that example of finding your homegirl's guy on a dating app, right? Some women, if you come to that with that information, they'll be like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate you." Some women will be like, "Oh my God, you're jealous. Why would you tell me that? Did you try to talk to him?" Da, da, da. And those are the people. It's like, you don't appreciate my intellect. You don't appreciate the knowledge that I have to share by, right? But the homegirl that's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." Okay, you appreciate when I learn something. You appreciate when I share it with you, right? So, like, that's what Spirit is putting in. You got the Ten of Swords twice. There's going to be some people, it's gonna be some endings here, right? But this is Spirit just showing you who appreciates your knowledge, who appreciates your wisdom, your intellect, who doesn't, they gotta go. right? So that's why Spirit just keeps saying over and over and over again, don't take this reading as an attack on you. Take it as I need to transmute my energy and make it more powerful so that I'm not feeling drained all the time. Because you guys give away a lot of energy when you speak. That's what they keep saying. When you speak, you give a lot of energy away. Does that make sense? You give a lot of energy away. Death. All right, let me clear the table and see if there's any final messages. Because, geez, this is a very, very specific reading, Virgo. Let's see. I feel like something specific happened to trigger this energy for sure. And I saw Rebirth at the bottom of the deck. Okay, let's see. Final messages for Virgo. Mid-May energy. You got karmic justice, which is the scales again, reverse, protection, upright. And concealment, reverse. One more card, Spirit. One more card. Concealment, reverse. Union, reverse. Didn't I say? Concealment, reverse. Union, reverse. Protection. I just told you guys. There are people around you that Spirit is going to start to pull away because they don't appreciate the knowledge. And then the moon, again. It came out 4 times in your reading. I honestly, this makes me feel like too, Virgo, that there might be some people that feel some type of way about things that you've said or communicated or how you communicate, and they're not saying it in your face. You get what I'm saying? Like they're not saying it in your face. So I think that Spirit is going to start to reveal these things to you. And when they do reveal it, don't take it as, oh my God, I can't believe this person thinks that I talk too much, or that I curse too much, or that I, like, don't internalize it, right? Take it as, all right, like, learn. Maybe I could be better at not interrupting so much. Maybe I could be better at not turning things to myself. You know how people, like, when you tell them something that you're going through, they take that story and they're like, okay, well, like, if it's that, like, how could I be better at that, right? This is not a personal attack that you're going to be going through when this gets revealed. This is Spirit kind of putting up a mirror, like, these people are bogus as fuck for not saying this to your face, but you can be a little bit better at this, Virgo. I'm not going to lie to you, right? Like, that's what Spirit is saying. Like, okay, like, take this and grow from it, right? Don't take it and minimize yourself and make yourself minuscule and allow those childhood traumas when it comes to your communication, to come back up, right? So just be ready for that. If it's not people around you, which I do feel like it is because, union, this is really, really, there's also a heavy emphasis on your shadow is about to knock you out. Okay, so I suggest for you guys for the rest of May, get in front of your shadow work, especially when it comes to the throat chakra, your communication and your intellect. Like, do some shadow work around that if there's wounds around that. Because if you don't do it now, there's going to be a situation where you're kind of forced to face your shadow and how it's been holding you back, and it's not going to be cute, right? It's not going to be cute. That's when it's going to manifest into, oh, Susie been walking around telling people that I talk way too much and that I interrupt her all the time, and that's going to really hurt your heart. Versus if you start doing the shadow work now, it kind of minimizes the impact of whatever this is that this moon keeps coming out and trying to reveal, right? So just be careful about that, Virgo. I know this was a very, very, like, blunt reading. So again, I hope you guys don't take it as any type of attack. It's just, we all got things to work on, right? So this month, for whatever reason, Spirit is bringing up the way that you guys communicate and transmuting it into something stronger, right? So if this resonates, definitely let me know below, and like, share, subscribe, y'all. And next week, you will have your June messages up, okay? Love you guys. Bye. Bye. Look at me struggling.